I hope you've been enjoying the series on the 9 Enneagram personalities, because personalities are just patterns of behavior. When you recognize the pattern, you will understand the personality and the person and be able to relate to them. So learning the 9 personalities is a great skill to have. It widens your perspective of other people. I've just completed a 3-week online program of the operator's manual for each of the personalities. And the group on there was very lively. We had great discussions. And what they shared was how much their own perception has changed now that it has widened and expanded for understanding how other personalities think, feel, act, and react. And so that's what it's all about. And when you have a Christmas gathering, you have, depends on how many people you have, you might be represented with all 9 of these personalities, or maybe not all 9 and duplicates in some areas. But understanding, why are some people quiet? Why are some outgoing? Why do some like the limelight? Why do some hide in the corner or off by themselves? Why do some leave early that you can be? Why are some really helpful? It's in understanding those dynamics that you can it really makes life much juicier when you understand each of them and how to get along with them. So the last 2 ones, the 5 contemplator, the 6 questioner, and now the 7 optimisters, are part of the thinking center of intelligence. There's 3 centers: the thinking, the emotion type, and the body instinct. For those of you who've never heard of the Enneagram, you are going, the Ennea what? The Enneagram has been around since the 1700s. And if you go to my website, eileenhead.com, it will give you some background of the Enneagram and why it's such a well-respected model. It's unique from other personality models in that it has a path of development. It shows you what patterns exactly what patterns are sabotaging you and what patterns to replace them with specific for your personality type. So it's an ancient body of wisdom. It's been around since the 1700s. There's lots of corporations use it, FBI uses it for profiling, etc. So let's get to the 7 optimister. I've shared the cartoon before, and the cartoon is about the 9 personalities sitting around the dinner table at Christmas time. And so the 1 perfectors are going to have rules. The dishes go around this way, because really they're right. If you've got people pass in different ways, it's just chaos, right? So sometimes the rules are really great. The 2 helpers are, oh, did you get that dish? Or can I pass you that? Or do you need anything from the kitchen? 2 supporter helpers are helpful. The 3 achiever personality focuses on goals and success, and they really teach us about that focus and how we can become successful. So they're going to be sharing their successes with you. And I think in the picture, it's like, hey, do you like my new Rolex watch? The 4 expressors are your very sensitive, deeply emotional personality types. They are very sensitive to emotion. They see life in technicolor. They see the beauty in life. And often they feel very different from other people, so they might feel very different, and at the same time that may make them unique and special. So they can be dramatic at times with their sensitivity. So be careful of what you're saying to them and how you're saying it. The 5 contemplators are the thinkers, the intellects. They like data and knowledge, and they'll tell you maybe about, if they've done some research on Christmas or when the turkeys first come. The 6 questioner is, they are a fear, worry-based personality, anxiety. They're looking for security and assurance. They're prepared, they're overly prepared, so they're always questioning things. Did we turn off the Christmas lights before we came? Did we unplug it? Did we lock the door? Is my car parked in the right place? The 8 asserters are they're strong personality types. Strong personality, they take charge of a situation. They're great leaders. They're very protective of those they love, and they can To some, their big energy can appear overwhelming at times. And then you have the 9 peace seekers who just want peace and harmony and no conflict. Good luck with that. Christmas is the time where people bring their past issues with them and things that people have said, etc. So there can be some challenges, or you can get triggered. And what I want you to do is to understand the 9 personalities, including your own, so that you can be prepared for how to handle certain people that you've had challenges in the past. And one of the best ways to do that is with humor. Or be prepared when, you know, you walk in and they say, man, looks like you've gained weight this year, or since the last time I saw you, and you're going, arr! You can really come up with something else and say, yep, love my food, and I can hardly wait for the dinner. That's a way of shifting things instead of personalizing it. You know what? It's a pattern they have. You don't need to make it a pattern you have. So I'm going to be talking about the 7 Optimisters. And, you know, we love the 7 Optimisters, especially at gatherings. They are the life of the party. They are always talking about an adventure they've been on. They're spontaneous. They're fun. The thing that annoys me the most about 7 Optimisters is if you have one in your family, the party will actually wait until they come because they're so much fun. And people will just be sitting in idle, and the door will burst open, and in will be the 7 Optimister, probably late because they've been off doing other things. They don't like to be structured. They're probably not looking at the time. And so if you're a 1 perfecter and you've said the dinner starts at 4 and it's 4:15 now, what do you do with them? Do you wait? Do you start the dinner? Because really, it won't make a difference to the 7 Optimister, but for the 1 perfecter, when you're not following their rules, that's going to be challenging. So when they come in the door, they'll have a great story of why they're late. The stories are not always totally factual. They're based on facts, but they're often embellished to make a really great story. And, you know, even in work, they need work to be fun. They'll often have lots of different jobs in their past because life gets boring if you stay in the same job. So on they are to doing other things. They live life to the fullest. They like to be creative. They want things to be kept fresh and new and moving along. They have a very, very fast mind, and they can jump from one thing to the other, and it's called a monkey mind, or, you know, the shiny object syndrome. They're here doing this, and then boom, over to here. So some of the challenges with the Optimister might be that they can be irresponsible before growth, and they may not keep their, you know, they may tell you they're coming, but then something else might come up that's more fun. Or, you know, the family's already into the picking each other apart, and they decide that won't be a good time. And so they go off and do something else. And that's the great thing about them. For those of us who are really structured in the right and wrong stuff, how did they do that? How are they able to just like, I think I'll go off and do this? That's what really each personality teaches us with both their challenges and their strengths. They really thrive on change, and they need life to be positive. They're often referred to as wearing those rose-colored glasses. Everything's going to turn out okay, but sometimes it doesn't, and life can get serious, and there's serious things in life. And so when it comes to the pain part of life, 7 Optimisters are really challenged with that. So like all of us, we can be out of balance with our strengths. So they're fun and optimistic and super positive, but you need the other side of life to experience life completely too, and that's the painful part. They're often late, as I said. They don't like boredom. They're overcommitted. And they won't say no to people like, come drop by my party, come here. Well, you know, I've got a family dinner. We'll stop in here. And then that's a lot of fun, and it's hard to break yourself away from. So before growth and not understanding patterns, these can be some of the challenges with the 7 Optimister. So they can sometimes have family that's kind of ticked off at them. But we always forgive them because they're so much fun. they're full of vitality and they're playful. They always need continual stimulation. If you are in a relationship with a 7, it might feel like you are the one on the ground holding the end of the string of the kite, and the 6 is up there like shooting all over the place. They're the ones who have all the flash sales on the trips to Mexico and the new sales and trips, and they can overextend themselves if they are not conscious of this pattern that they have of jumping into things really quickly. And what they've shared at trainings is that they can get really burnt out because this is the current fun thing, but then something else fun comes along, and then something else fun comes along. And it's sort of like they've got a plate spinning, and then oh, that's fun, and they've got this plate spinning and this, and then all of a sudden the plates over here start to crash. So for the 7 Optimister, please be responsible, show up on time to the gathering. People will love to have you and hear your stories. Famous people are George Clooney, Goldie Hawn, Tom Hanks, Jay Leno, Leonardo DiCaprio, Jack Nicholson, Britney Spears. All of us have our patterns, and to get along, we have a responsibility to manage our own patterns. You know, for the one perfecter getting nitpicky because people are late, start the dinner, carry on. When they come in the door, just be happy they come. You know, for the 2 supporters, overhelping can be sort of intrusive. For the 3 achievers who love to share your wins, maybe focus attention and draw other people out on what their wins were. For the 4 expressor, you know, you're very, very sensitive. Become aware of your sensitive energy with other people and manage your own emotions to keep more of an even keel, especially like with the 5 contemplators. Emotion burns them out, so they're going to pull back. So be aware of that. And you are great intellect, so engage them on intellect. 5s like to use their intellect and have great discussions, not arguments or conflicts, but great discussions. For the 6 questioner, you really want to praise them. They're very traditional. They're very loyal and trustworthy and very responsible, and they have that funny sense of humor. We've talked about the 7s. For the 8 asserter, you know, often they feel their energy can get away from them when they're not aware, and they often aren't given the acknowledgement for being protective and kind and caring for those they love. And the peace seeker, draw them out. They'll probably be a bit quieter. So that's the information on the 7 Optimister. I hope you join me tomorrow at this time here on Eileen Head, the Relationship Whisperer page. You can give me your comments, or if you have a challenge, let me know. We can discuss it. 12 noon Mountain Standard Time. And I'd love to hear from you. So send me a note and join me with your comments. Bye for now. See you tomorrow.